Hello,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good
Good morning,
morning.
good afternoon, good evening, wherever you
Yeah,
are, whenever you're watching us, guys. Um, my name is Steluta Leu, and I'm here with Hanane Anoua, my co-host, and with Saif Ullah, our guest today in the Path to Resilience show. Today, we will be talking about some really interesting subjects, and you
Mhm.
will see, yeah, you will see. So just to give you a bit of a background, and I think if you got a chance to watch the introduction, um, hello Banabit, hello Vashinti, thank you for joining us. So if you got a chance to watch the description of this show, it's really interesting because we are talking about perception and the way our thoughts uh, influence and make us choose either consciously or subconsciously the reality that we create for ourselves. And this is a really, for some people, this is really something new to hear about because we are so used to being in our own reality, in our everyday life, that we don't take too much time to deep dive within ourselves and take a look at what is going on inside us and to assess the way we think and to the way we perceive the reality around us. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thank you, Nabil. Thank you, Vasinthi. Sorry if I pronounce the names not correctly. Thank you, Rihan. Thank you, Lotfi. Thank you, everyone. Sorry.
No worries, go on, go on. So it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the belief system has been a subject, really the core subject of our discussions, me and Saluta, because we really believe that everything is around our belief system. Our beliefs can be indeed positive, and this is how we grow resilient and more confident, or beliefs that are negative and they become our limiting beliefs that are hindering us from achieving our goals. The problem is that a lot of people that are not even aware of the thoughts and the beliefs that they have. And whenever they are challenged, whenever they are faced with like a hurdle, they keep blaming the circumstances, the people, the government, the situation, the friends, everyone. But they never stop. They never stop to question or to blame themselves, or maybe to go to the roots of the problems, or maybe this is I always thought maybe this is how we were raised, like just to criticize the others, maybe to look at the symptoms of our problems, but not to go to the roots of our problems. And that's why I really, really believe that the moment we become aware of the beliefs that we nurture every day, this is from where we can make changes. So today we have a special guest, an amazing person that I can consider already a friend. And he has a PhD in chemistry from Denmark. And by the way, Saif, you are my first connection for Denmark, and thank you for being here. So he from and trying to understand the atoms and the molecules. Today, he tried to understand human behavior and empowers leaders all over the world. So we would love to learn more about you, Saif. So how can you talk a little bit about your journey and how you made this shift from a chemist and researcher to empowering people today?
thank you so much, both of you, Hanane and Steluta, for the opportunity to share my perception. I will share my brief introduction. I will not spend too much time what I have done. I think
Uh-huh.
it does not matter what I have done, but what I can add value that matters the most. I'm a chemist by education, and I used to work in the laboratory playing with molecules. An example of it is like protein molecules. But
Uh-huh.
what are protein molecules? So just imagine protein molecules are like tangled spaghetti, you know. So I think we all have eaten spaghetti.
Oh,
So they
yes.
are just tangled. They are just tangled mess. So one of my interesting observation was that if I put one protein molecule in one environment, it will behave one way. And if I take the same protein molecule, put it in another environment, it will behave differently. So this means the protein molecules is the same, but if we change the environment, its structure and its behavior change.
Amazing.
So I was thinking that if the protein molecules behave like this way, do we also behave the same way? After all, we are also made up of molecules. So our skin is a protein, our hair, they are protein, our air. So we have a lot of proteins and a lot of protein reactions in our minds, in our brain. Many of the neurochemicals, and they have origin with the protein molecules. It was so much interesting that if our mind, or if we change our environment, our behavior also changes. So that was, I think, the tipping point. And I said, okay, let's forget about few molecules. Let's study and understand my own mind, and then share my knowledge and experience with other people to empower them. So that was the fundament of my shift, from protein molecules to human molecules. So to understand each
Well,
other
I
better.
hope you didn't regret that.
And I have a question for you, because you said
Yes,
that
please.
when we are changing the environment, the way the molecules, the proteins inside us change, right? Are you talking about the only about the external environment, or also about the internal environment, the energy, the shift in the energy that we can create, that we can control and influence within ourselves?
It's both internal and external, but it always starts internally. That's why I talk about perception. So you may ask, okay, what is perception? So perception is just like a system. It works like a system. So this means there are different parts of that system. So one part is physical senses. So we have 5 physical senses. We all know that we have nose, ear, eyes, mouth, and touch. So this is one part. So these all physical senses, they gather data from the external world. Take all the data, goes into our mind, our brain, and then all the processing starts there. So our mind makes sense of the data, whatever we gather. So once that data is stored in our minds, now it's a reference for our mind. Next time, if we record or register another data, it will always reference with that data. So this means if the data stored in our mind is negative, you can say it's like the energy is negative for that data. Does not matter what comes from the outside. It will shift, it will change into negative. That is how our minds work. So in simple words, our perception is interaction of our mind with the environment, right? And now the environment means our mind have also its own environment, and our body just help our mind.
Interesting.
Right? So we have internal perception that comes from our body and comes also from our mind. It's internal system. And then it interacts with the external world. So in simple sense or simple words, we have 2 realities. One reality is objective reality, that is outside in the world. And that is there. Let's suppose the tree, the ocean, the river, they are there actually. It's the reality. It doesn't matter what reality is over there, but it matters only how we create our subjective reality out of that objective reality. It's only the power of our minds that we can create, right? So this means we all perceive differently. The same objective reality, we perceive differently. We interpret differently. Why? There is a reason. Because the power of our senses, it's different for everyone. If we
Indeed.
can miss some data, and then our perception will change,
It's an
right?
amazing subject. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can see that also in the situation of COVID, how people experience and going through the same situation, but each one will look at it from different filters. And these filters can be a lot of things: experience, it can be education, can be a family, can be religion, can be culture, can be anything. And it always amazes me how the same situation, the same crisis, the same challenge, the same hurdle, people will always react differently. And again, we go back to the perception, because this perception will impact the way we think about ourselves, the words we're going to use, the pattern of thoughts and beliefs we're going to hold onto. And it's also amazing how either we'll start taking actions, or we will be in isolation, depending on how we perceive this situation. Amazing.
It depends on our perceptual operating system. So what we have downloaded when we were child. So up to the age of 6, basically, all of us have downloaded almost all the beliefs. So this means we were not conscious as that time. We downloaded from our family, we downloaded from the society. So I mean, just imagine. Sometimes I know it shocks me. It's just that, okay, when I was born, it was not in my control. I was born in Pakistan. It was not in my control. I was born to my family. It was not in my control. My name was not in my control. My name was given by my parents. The program I downloaded from my parents and the society, it was not in my control, because at that time I was not conscious. It takes 25 years to be conscious, to develop or to mature our conscious mind. It takes 25 years. And 6 years, the work is done. And now what we do, between the age of 6 and 25, we reinforce those beliefs. We reinforce them. If they are limiting, and then we just reinforce subconsciously, unconsciously. And even after the age of 25 years, if we don't sit on the steering seat, we are still reinforcing those beliefs day by day, day by day, day by day, even though we don't know what is happening. So every situation we face, so okay, why I behave the way I behave? Why? Because it's down in the belief system.
Yeah.
So the power is there, actually.
Yeah.
And then the food of that belief system, our emotions, they feed them.
Yeah.
So if we have anger, yes, please.
Yeah, I have a question, because I would like really to ask our connections if they have any particular questions regarding these subjects. They are welcome to write the questions in the comments, because after all, we would like to talk about this subject, but also to respond to their questions. So I just have a question regarding the belief system. Today, we're talking about how to upgrade the belief system. How can people, like, the reaction that I often have, like, I don't need to upgrade, I don't need to change, I'm happy the way I am. So when can people really start thinking about upgrading their belief system? How can they know that they really need to upgrade their belief system? In what situation they are faced to? I mean, can you give further advice in this regard?
I think the first thing is, if someone says that he or she is happy, so there is no way you can change their belief. If they are happy, then it's a good belief system, right?
Yeah.
But unless until they come on the surface and say, okay, they take the courage and say, okay, yeah, there is some problem here. Because if someone says something, I get angry. Just take an example, what is happening inside my mind, when my thoughts are just cooled down, then I realize that, okay, I should not react, to someone's opinions. If the person comes like that, okay, I need help, then you can help. This is the first stage, this is the first step actually. If the person is not ready to get help, no one can help,
Of course.
no matter what. So now the second stage, if a person comes and say, yeah, now I need help, to understand my belief system. So the first step is to understand your belief system, what is made up of, right? What are the components of the belief system? And now I will just explain a little bit about the belief system. Belief system is a set of programs that was downloaded when we were a child, like a small kid, up to 6 age. These are the programs. Everyone knows what are the programs, because the videos and everything is, on the computer, they are all programs.
I like the metaphor, the comparison with the computer and the software, because I think it is easier for people to grasp the idea. Because we're not plugging somewhere in, and we're not downloading something
no
physically. It's just everything that happens around us, right? We take it in and we talk about it as being a download. All the experiences of all our family members or societal ways of behavior and talking and everything, we just take them in. It's internalizing everything. It's really cool, the comparison.
And just take an example. I think the computer and everything is inspired by human mind. How the human mind downloaded the thoughts is exactly the same way. Now you can say to the computer, a mobile phone automatically download. You don't need to click. Automatically. So that was the age between 0 and 6. That was the age our click button, like automatic download, that was on. It was just automatically downloading, right? So, and then you can also say, okay, don't download until I say. That is after the age of 25, particularly. But you can also do before, because you are also conscious, when you are a teenager, but you are less conscious. You are under the influence of different hormones, right? They shut down your conscious mind. Anger, hate, they shut down your conscious mind. So this means the understanding is very, very crucial. Now, what is a program? What is a thought, actually? We can say that a program is just a sequence of words, or you can say one thought. A program can be just one thought, can be two thoughts, can be many thoughts, right? And what is thought? Thought is just like a sequence of words. A very simple example, and that is also core belief. It always starts with I. So I will share two powerful core beliefs. One is I am. Ask yourself, I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am enough. I am good, So these are empowering thoughts. Are you operating with these thoughts, or are you operating with I am not good? I'm not enough. I don't have this. I don't have this. If you're operating with that thought, So this means if you're operating with...
I was there too.
I was also there. I am there too, because the subconscious thoughts, they always pop up. These empowering thoughts, they always pop up. They never die. They never die.
I think this is a really interesting topic, because we were talking yesterday with Hanane about this. It's like, even if they will never die. So there are things that you cannot really take out of your system. But what you can do is educate yourself, teach yourself to live with those thoughts, to question them, and to, instead of reacting based on your old thoughts, acknowledge that it's just an old thought, and then choose a different response to that belief. Right.
Another analogy could be to understand your mind is just like a garden, So in the garden, you need to work out to make it beautiful. Otherwise, there would be weeds all over, right? So the weeds are just like negative thoughts. The weeds will never die. You have to work them out. all the time, all the time, and all the time. If you will leave your garden for 1 month, and then you will see the result. It's continuously, it's a constant work. You can't leave your mind as it is. You can't. If you will leave, there would be weeds all over. It's a constant work. You have to work every day, every single day. The more you work, the better your mind is in peace. The more you get peace out of that. It's a work, you know.
And how do you do that?
Okay, I think you're it's very easy to say, but it's very hard to do that work. Easy to say is that you have to be conscious. Oh yeah, it's very easy. Yeah. How can I be conscious? Because my subconscious thoughts are, you know, they always.
I love your reaction, because exactly this is how people sometimes react. Okay, yeah. Conscious, and then what's next?
Yeah, that's true. What's next? This means there should be a strong reason, a strong why behind every negative thought you want to weed out. You want to remove the negative thought. There should be a strong reason. If there is not a strong reason, your subconscious mind will take over and say, okay, just shut up and then do what I want. Your subconscious mind will say. Because negative thoughts, there is a study of Stanford University that negative thoughts are 19 times more powerful than a positive thought. Absolutely. 19 times. So this means if one time you say yes, through your conscious mind to subconscious mind, yes, there would be 19 times more resistance from subconscious mind. Wow. So you have to overcome through the 19 times. So maybe 20th time, your subconscious mind say, okay, boss, yeah.
Okay. We need to say yes, yes.
Yeah, I can do something, you know. So you have to upgrade your mind, but then it's a different strategy how you can upgrade your mind. How can you update your mind actually, right? Yeah. So it's just a different strategy.
Yeah,
so if you want me, I can share that strategy, just a small part of that strategy. The strategy is you need an empowering thought. That empowering thought can come from the outside world, absolutely fine, or it can come from your production factory of the conscious mind. So I say conscious mind is your production factory of positive thoughts.
That's
right?
So cool.
So you can produce yourself. This is fine. But you can't produce all the positive thoughts, and you don't know which thought will work. So this means you have to be open-minded to look for others, to listen to others. If you're closed-minded, if you're fixed-minded, if you're not listening to others, you are missing many thoughts. You need just one thought. I tell you, you need just one thought to unlock your luck, you can say. Unlock
potential. Yes.
Yeah. So empowering thoughts. But I don't know, you don't know which thought will just click. A thought is just a key. So that they are locked inside in our subconscious mind. The empowering and disempowering is particularly disempowering thought. They're locked there. They need a key. I don't know which key. There are a lot of keys, you know, in our hands, but you are trying. But if you're not trying, you are locked. No one can help you.
I can relate to that, believe me. I experienced in my life many situations where these limiting beliefs were behind me, hindering me taking actions and achieving my goals, because I was in that mode, repeating to myself that I cannot do it, that I don't have the skills, that I'm not enough, and so on. And that belief system came from, as you said, from the environment, from the education, from the way we were raised. And it's amazing the moment you recognize those limiting beliefs, how your life can be shifted and how everything can change. When you are talking, it's like you're talking about my experience, and I think Steluta can also relate to that. Exactly. And somehow we all have these limiting beliefs, because
we all have. We
We all
have.
have these limiting
Yeah.
beliefs, and I just want to mention something, that limiting beliefs is not something related only to our career or personal life. It can be in different areas in our lives. It can be something related to money. It can be related to success. It can be related to our confidence. A lot of areas can be involved. So, so how can you, like, in a few in a concise way, can you share with our connections how from limiting beliefs and from this belief system that is no longer aligned with our future goals and in preventing us from growing and from evolving, how can make this shift? You talked about awareness. Awareness is really a first step. We cannot change something that we don't know. This is for sure. And so, can you explain further? Like, okay, after awareness, now that the people, they are aware of this limiting beliefs or this belief system that is no longer valid or functioning properly, how can we move on?
Yeah.
Forward.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain it in a very simple way. The first thing is, we all are aware. I think most of it. We all are aware. You will be shocked. Okay, how can we? We all are aware. Constantly, I think almost 24 hours, we are aware. How? Because what is the definition of the awareness and the consciousness? What is the difference between awareness and consciousness? Aware means your mind is getting the frequencies, getting the energy from the outside world. That is means awareness. So this means you can be aware subconsciously. If there is something coming from here, your hand will just go like that without your conscious awareness. It will just go like that. Just like you're sitting in the car and someone cross your car, and then you will put your feet will be on the brake system, right? Automatically. So this means you are aware all the time. But the question is, are you aware subconsciously or consciously? This is the right question.
Wow, very deep.
Yeah, it is deep. We are all aware subconsciously because they are doing their part. Subconscious thoughts are really powerful thoughts. They are, you can say, it's whether negatively or positive, but they are powerful thoughts. It has, I think it's a marvelous, you can say, our subconscious mind. But how we use our subconscious mind, that will make a difference. So now the question is, we have to ask ourselves new questions. New questions will come from new thoughts. But where is the thought factory? It's in our conscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
If a subconscious thought pop ups, then we ask ourselves through the conscious mind, is this thought empowering me or disempowering me? Is that thought creating an anger, or it's making a happy to me? So we ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't ask questions, subconscious mind will do its job. Its job is to execute whatever is over there. The main job of a subconscious mind is to react. That is the main job. But we don't need to react all the time. Reaction is good. I don't say it's bad. Reaction is good. But sometimes we have to also respond. What does it mean, respond? When I say respond, means then you also think consciously. Then you involve your conscious mind. This means then now you are moving from a reactive mind to responsive mind. Responsive mind is your conscious mind.
And it gives you choices, right? You
absolutely.
have a choice. That's actually
Always.
what it's all about. You have a choice.
Always. Your conscious mind has a choice. Your subconscious mind has no choice.
Exactly.
It's under the yes or no button. Whatever press, you can press yourself automatically, or someone from the outside world can press that button. And we all have seen that we can be provoked. Some people can be provoked easily, some they take time, Then comes resilience. So yeah, then we are moving to diversity. So
I just want to add
simple, I
something.
think.
I just want to add something. You talked about how we need to be conscious of our thoughts. Very often, people they're not even conscious or aware of the thought they nurture until they get the emotion or some physical reaction on their body. And this is sometimes this is where they stop and start questioning, or maybe not. So yeah, our emotions also can be a great source of identification of the thoughts we nurture. We may not recognize that or be aware of that at the level of the thoughts until we start feeling bad. And then when we start feeling bad, this is something that happens to me. Sometimes I wake up and I'm not feeling good. And I'm like, okay, what's going on in my mind now? You see? Or you wake up and you feel so tired and you feel like there is pressure on your back or neck or anything. And then you understand that the mind was busy thinking. And then you dive deep into understand what's going on. Observing our emotions and behavior also can be indicators of the thoughts that we nurture. Just wanted to add this.
Now I'm sharing one thought. One thought is everything that is psychological is biological, and vice versa. Everything which is biological is psychological. This is very powerful thought. If we understand that thought, then what does it mean? It means that our psychology, our mind, can shift the chemistry of our body, and our body can influence our mind. Okay, if I have a stomach pain, right? So my mind can't think clearly. It's very difficult, So this means you have to create those thoughts that will work on to making your stomach good. So the same case, some of the pains we don't understand, but they are just there. Maybe some pains are physical, but some pains are non-physical, you can say spiritual. So that is, I think, the difficult part. Non-spiritual part is difficult. The physical part perhaps is you have pain in your leg, you have pain in your stomach, so it's okay, reasonable. You can get medication. So, but the non-spiritual, non-physical pain, but where the origin of that pain, there are certain events in the past. Now comes the story of the emotions. Now we have to understand what is an emotion. An emotion is just an energy in motion. What does it mean? It means your energy, whatever event happened in the past, it's stuck there. In the form of a memory, in your memory, it's stuck there. Now, any trigger, external trigger, can create a turbulence in that energy. So the flow of energy, energy in motion, you can say. So flow is not always positive. It can also be negative. So we have to understand all these things. So once we understand our mind, then we can change in whatever direction we want. So I'm talking about emotion. So emotion is an energy in motion. It can be internal. So our brain can also create that internal, flow of energy. But the origin is in the past. It's always in the past. Otherwise, if there is no past, so everything is fine.
This is we could
emotion,
go down this. I think we also need to be mindful of the time. I think we are a bit past the time, so I think maybe we need to go deeper in this topic of emotions and the way we keep them in our body and the way they influence actually our lives, because it's really important for people to understand how the importance of past in our future. Maybe we can do that another time in another episode.
I just want to ask a last question to Saif. What would be your advice, like in a very concise way, to the people who are connecting with us? What would be your last message for the people who would like to grow more resilient using the power of thoughts and perception?
Just one thought. That is my message, core message. What your triggers? What your triggers? And ask yourself, are these triggers empowering me or disempowering me? Watch out those triggers. Those triggers can be from, internal memory, that can be from the external people. Just watch out those triggers. That is my core message. If you
Thank
really
you so
want to, yeah. So if you really want to improve your mental health, watch out those triggers.
What about if the people they cannot recognize these triggers, which is an issue? Yeah.
This is absolutely fine if they don't recognize, but do they are they are willing to understand them? Are they are willing or not? Not understanding, I don't understand many things. This is absolutely fine. But do I want? Do I really want? And then I think if I really want, then I will find a solution.
Yeah.
And they're constant, it's a constant work that you need to be doing, right? Because you work on something, you uncover something, and then you work on managing, creating the self-leadership skills to deal with that situation. And then something else comes up, right? Because we are such complex beings. So
yeah.
So always try to audit your emotions, audit your beliefs, audit your energy. So in simple words, always audit your energy. We do audit our financial situations time to time, but we never dare to audit our emotions, our thoughts,
Yeah.
So it's crucial.
I just want to thank the people who attended this episode. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. We are grateful to have you among us today. Thank you, Saif, for being here. Really, I mean, I love the way you explain these things, and I personally learn a lot. Thank you, Steluta. So
thank you, guys.
Let's keep empowering ourselves by positive thoughts.
And just let me add one thing. If you're watching us on YouTube, guys, and you're not following us, please follow us, click the like button, click the notification button so that you get notified whenever we're posting new content, new videos. Also, make sure that you share this video with other people that might find value in it. And see you in the next episode.
My sincere gratitude to Hanane and Steluta for arranging this event, and also to the audience who listened to my perception, actually our perception. And please, if you have any question, write it to me in my DM me on my LinkedIn, through my LinkedIn profile. So I would be more than happy to answer your questions.
And also, where else can people find you? So besides your LinkedIn profile.
I'm really active on LinkedIn. It's very easy because now we are on LinkedIn. So everybody is on LinkedIn. So I think let's focus on LinkedIn. So through that, I think then I can tell them where they can find me. So let's make it simple.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.